it's probably one of those things where it's like, it's unlikely that you're going to get like in trouble for it. But if you do, you're going to get in trouble for it. Like big time.
This is the CreativeKrunch podcast.
Yesterday's left turn might be tomorrow's right turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. That's a good idea. I forget how I start. What? Hey there, everybody. Welcome back welcome back, everybody, to the CreativeKrunch podcast. We have not done one over Zoom in quite a long time. We've done two probably in the last 4 months, maybe, and they were both in person, and they were both so
Terrible.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they weren't good. So we apologize. We've been gone. We are both in the middle of busy season for wedding videographers and all the wedding vendors out there. So times are pretty crazy right now, but we had a little bit of motivation to hop on here and do a quick little podcast about music. So yeah, I'm Reed, and that's Ben over there dancing. So
Yeah, if you're a listener, go watch the YouTube. We dance.
Yeah.
Whatever this move is. All right, cool.
Yeah, take it away.
Well, I guess let's just start off. Tell me something that happened to you recently.
Something that happened to me recently.
I mean, I went and saw that movie Free Guy. That was pretty funny. They had a lot of funny references in that movie.
I do want to see that. Something that's happened to me recently. Weddings, man. Weddings and editing. That's like all I've been doing.
Yeah, that is our life right now. We go to a wedding on Saturday. I was thinking about we work pretty much every day of the week.
Oh, easy.
So weekend, Saturday, we film. Sunday, we currently edit this teaser. I mean, it's what you and me do. Not every videographer does that.
Yeah.
But then Monday comes around and we kind of have to get we have to reorganize ourselves. Like, I mean, it's not, I guess you couldn't, I mean, people could maybe say that's not work, but in reality, we're like getting ready for work. We're pretty much doing like inventory, getting ready.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're also at the point in the year where like we can't really take any days off, so every single day has to have some type of productivity behind it. But yeah, I just stopped recording.
Action. You still going?
I think testing. I accidentally hit the magic mouse pad and it stopped, but I think we're good now. It was only a quick second.
Oh, we're good.
But yeah, no, I think we're at the point in the season right now where, like, at least for me myself, I'm trying to edit a little bit every day, obviously except Saturdays, just because that'd be nuts if I'm filming a wedding and trying to edit. But yeah, Monday through Sunday, basically excluding the wedding days on Saturdays. I'm sitting at my computer for some portion of the day, working, checking emails, getting organized, whatever. But yeah, so we've been gone. It's been pretty crazy, and I feel like a lot of other vendors out there can attest to that as well.
Amen. All right, well, people are probably bored already. They probably didn't.
No, I haven't even said what happened to me yet.
Oh, okay. Keep going then.
I don't know.
Life happened to you. That's what happened.
Yeah, life. We might be getting a new dog eventually.
Oh,
Another dog,
exciting.
not a new dog. We're just trying to figure out all the logistics and details, like where we can rescue one or whatever. But talk more on that when that happens.
Well, yeah, that's exciting.
Okay, take it away. Music stuff.
All right, music. So, one common question that we all get, a lot of videographers get, is like, how do you select your music? Or it'll be like, hey, can you use this song by the Beatles that I love or something? and there's a lot that goes into choosing music. And I
What?
guess we can just start off by talking about the misconceptions of music.
Yeah, one backtrack 1 second. Have you actually had a couple ask if you can use a Beatles song, or why did the Beatles come to your head?
I have no idea.
I'm trying to think of like a single Beatles song that could be used in like a wedding video.
I feel like I could use a Beatles song. What's the Yellow Submarine? Isn't that a Beatles song?
Yeah, Yellow Submarines. We all live in it. Yeah, it'd be. Anyway, sorry. I was just curious on your artist pick there.
Yeah, I have no idea why. That literally, I'm surprised that was the first one.
Like my first thought goes to like Dan and Shay or something like. Not the Beatles. Oh no, we're gonna get copyrighted.
Oh yeah, see, that's where we get in trouble.
It's a perfect transition into what we're talking about.
Okay, so one thing that a lot of people may say is, well, I saw this other videographer. They used Ed Sheeran in their song, so like, why can't I use Yellow Submarine in my video? And it's a lot more complicated than that. So there's this thing called the copyright law, and I mean, essentially, like we can't just. These artists clearly make these songs, and they're gonna expect compensation. I don't remember where I saw the stats, but I think Guardians of the Galaxy.
Great
like
soundtrack to that movie, by the way.
Cost to license. Here, Reed, talk about it for a second while I look up what this whole thing was.
Talk about what? That's not how a podcast works. Yeah, talk about it. I got it. You look up whatever you need to look up. So basically what Ben is trying to get at is a lot of people will ask for a specific song in their wedding video. And it's usually a very popular song that you hear on the radio that's in the Billboard Top 100, whatever. And that is actually pretty hard to do, if not impossible, without spending a lot of money to do that. So basically what we're going to kind of talk about is copyright infringement and why we can't use those really popular songs that, some couples may request. But we'll also kind of dive into maybe a little workaround with that. But of course, that workaround will be a lot of work and also cost a lot of money. But yeah, so Ben, you got to pull it up now, or do I need to keep?
keep going. I'm trying to disable my ad blocker.
Oh. But yeah, anyways, copyright infringement, whatever. It's a bad thing to happen. Like if we were to just pull a Dan and Shay song, I can't think of the name of one, and just throw it in a music video and we got paid for it, that's a big no-no. That could, if that were to happen, if we were to get like fined on that could be a lot of money, anywhere from probably like $800 to a couple $100,000. So, we're going to talk about licensing music, where we license music, the process of picking music, and I'm still waiting for Ben.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Millions of dollars went into the music.
Yeah. But when you look at it too, if you haven't seen the movie, there's a lot of well-known tracks in there. A lot of good, very well-known music. So obviously it's probably going to cost, you said millions? Probably.
All I know is they spent a lot of money on music. But, so their music licensing, it's a tricky thing. Some people might use it. Technically, I don't think you can use it for anything. I don't even think you can use it for family vacations. But there's this thing that's called personal use or fair use. So like technically, I think you could even get in trouble if if we recorded the reception of a wedding and you hear like well-known music and that gets played, we could technically get fined by the artist or the copyright holders.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think, as we'll find out when we talk about it a little bit more, I feel like there's a lot of gray and unknown areas in like, I mean, of course, if you went to law school and you studied copyright, like obviously you're going to know way more than we do. But I feel like for me, at least, there's a lot of unknown, like grayish areas. Cause like, yeah, they're walking out to Kids Bop.
Yeah.
they're leaving the ceremony to listen to Kids Bop. That's going to be like in their ceremony video. I have no idea how that works to like how we would get in trouble. So I think Ben has a little bit more information on it.
Yeah. So I know in some of like the more well-known songs, they can put in their music contracts or copyright laws or whatever that like they can make a certain percentage of like the profit that you make from the video. So like, yeah, let's say I use a song. Let's say I use like a Justin Bieber song in a wedding video, and then that video goes viral, and I book 20 weddings from that. Let's say, so then 20 weddings. Let's say I make $100,000 from that one video. I could be paying $15,000 in fines from that one video. Now,
I mean, I feel like it could even be higher than that too.
Well, that's the thing. It continues to grow.
It just kind of
every time I book another wedding, they're gonna be like, "Hey, cough it up. Let's go cough up the percentage or whatever." So I mean, it's hard, and there's an analogy that I read that it's kind of like speeding, kind of though, because a lot of people speed, but like when they see the cops and stuff, they're not gonna speed. But like they're saying that if a speeding ticket was $150,000, people probably wouldn't speed. Now like.
Yeah,
as we continue to grow and improve our skills and become more well known, like people are like, "Oh, have you seen that Iowa videographer?" Then our content gets seen by a lot more people, and who knows, maybe Susan. Sorry if there's a Susan that listens to this.
Probably
there's a
not.
Susan that's like, you know what? I'm gonna report them to this copyright person, and then they send the video to the copyright person, and then the copyright person goes, "Hey, you need to cough up some money to us."
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things too, because copyright probably happens so much in the industry of just not even weddings, just video production in general, and it's probably one of those things where it's like it's unlikely that you're gonna get like in trouble for it, but if you do, you're gonna get in trouble for it, like big time.
Yeah, so recently in a film, I put this, there was this TikTok audio that someone had created, and it was the whole, like, get it, hit it. So, like,
Get it.
so it's not, like, a licensed thing, but, like, I had to look everywhere to see if I was going to get in trouble if I used it. So there's certain situations that are very gray where you're like, can I do this? Can I not do this? And then sometimes you gotta take the risk, but then there's other times where it's like, we have to play it safe. Like, we can't risk. I mean, yeah, maybe the couple is not gonna have to pay $500,000 in fines, but like, we are going to.
Yeah, like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to use like "Stay" by Justin Bieber, all these well-known songs.
see, I think I disagree with you on that point. I personally don't think, like, I don't know, because if it was super easy to get like popular songs, everyone would use the popular songs, and then every wedding video would kind of start to look the same. I like, plays like Music Bed or Epidemic Sound or whatever, where you can license music because they're not popular. They're not songs you're going to hear on the radio. And that's just another thing that makes your video unique. So I guess if my point is, if you're coming to one of us or coming to your videographer and you're like, hey, I want Coming Down with the Sickness as my highlight video.
As the first look, or as me walking down the aisle.
Yeah. If I want Coming Down with the Sickness for my highlight video, just think about it a little bit.
Okay, so long story short,
example.
that was a very long explanation for us to say it is very expensive for us to license well-known songs. Like, I think we can license it, but the license itself could cost $10,000 or really, really high. And we're not just going to cough out $10,000.
No, I mean,
maybe if we were charging $100,000.
If a couple wants it that bad, I will look into it. And I will slap on another 10 grand to their invoice if they really want that song. But
yeah. Now there is steps that you can go through to try to see if like maybe they'll be like, oh, go ahead. Like they'll give you like a written consent, like you are allowed to use this for your wedding video. But it is not an easy process. I've done it in the past. I was able to reach out to the copyright owner. You first have to like find the producer. Like you don't reach out to Justin Bieber to license his song. You have to reach out to the producer or the copyright owner.
The label.
And yeah, the label. Right. And
the
like the label person will send you to this other person who sends you to this other person. And when I was doing it, it was like a 6-month process for me to finally get consent to use this song.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through and a lot of different people you need to talk to. Some people would say that it's not worth it, but some people might think that it is.
Now, if it's a really good song, maybe, but honestly, I think like for us, the music is not the most important part of the video.
What do you think the most important part of the video is?
I mean, the story itself, like the dialogue. I feel like we use probably 80% instrumental music anyways. So, like, your favorite song, you're not going to be singing to it.
Yeah. It's kind of going back on that one podcast we did, like the difference between, like, the music video type wedding video and then the story-driven type of video. Like if you wanted like that music video type where there's no dialogue or anything like that, then yeah, man, it'd be really cool to have why can I not think of any songs that would be like appropriate for a wedding video? I just like the first song that came to my head was the YMCA. Like, but anyway, you know what I mean? Like if you just wanted that music video type of thing, then it'd be cooler to use popular music. But yeah, like with the story-driven type of film, yeah, like Ben said, over 50% of it is going to be instrumental anyway, and there's going to be dialogue over it. So sometimes you probably can't even tell what song it is.
I think the most common request we get is for like a well-known country song. I feel like a lot of people love country music, and that's totally fine, but we just can't jump on and license those songs. Now, there are some websites that we can license some of those songs, but like, I don't think you're gonna find Tim McGraw's "Humble and Kind" to like. I don't think we can like that one's just way too well known.
And then, but keep in mind those songs that you can find a license cost money too. Like, I mean,
yeah. So like,
for an individual song, you're going to be paying, like, if it's not well known, you're going to be paying $50 to $100 to use that song once. Like, so that means you can't use it in another video. It can only be that one video. Am I correct there? Like, you can only use that song that you license one time.
Yeah. So like, if another couple requests that song, I have to go and pay another $50. But the tough part is with us using dialogue, we have to get the instrumental, which is, according to their license, it's a separate song. We can't just like cut out dialogue from the middle of the song. We have to buy the instrumental version. So, it gets up to it. The range can be from $50 for one song to $150. So that can add up to like $300 sometimes.
And, every once in a while, so I guess to kind of jump into, well, how do we get the music that we use for our videos? There are a lot of subscription-based music licensing sites out there. I know Ben and I both use MusicBed, but there's also ones like Epidemic Sand. There's ones like Epidemic Sound, MusicBed, Soundstripe, Artlist. There's a whole flood of different licensing sites. Is that a word? Licensing?
Yeah, music licensing. Yeah.
Anyway, there's a bunch of different sites that you can do that stuff through, and that's obviously either like a yearly payment or a month-to-month payment. But where I was going with that is like, even on there, sometimes if you have a subscription, you pay $1,000 a year for whatever. Sometimes there's even music that costs extra money. So for example, the video I'm working on right now, I found a song on MusicBed that I was just like, money, this is perfect for them. But it costed another $70 on top of the subscription that I'm already paying monthly. So I don't know where I'm going with that. I think I was just trying to go along with you saying something about like sometimes you find a song and it's worth it to pay or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so
cut all of it.
So there's this. So essentially, we are looking for royalty-free or copyright-free, and essentially that means like we can purchase a license to use a song in a video, and that license might cost $10,000 for Back in Black to use. We're using these songs. Might cost $10,000, but then for a smaller local, not local. It could be a local artist. That'd be awesome. Honestly, I would love to put a local artist in a wedding video, but cool. A smaller, less well-known artist. That does not mean the quality is less. It just means they're less known. It costs less, like $50 to $150. So if you think about us, so we have a subscription. A lot of what we do is subscription based. So we have subscriptions to multiple music licensing sites. So we probably pay
easily over.
I personally probably, like, in a month, for subscription base, I probably pay close to $350 a month in music licensing. But that doesn't count for like songs that I do have to pay for, because there's certain songs on these subscription sites. So like in the last 2 weeks, I paid $200 on top of my music licensing subscription costs. So close to $500 this month on music.
Yeah, just a side note, if you're listening to this and you're questioning why your wedding videographer costs so much, just think of the money that Ben just said that he spent the last week on music alone. Like that's a lot. But that's my little 2 cents on that.
Yeah, it's not fun to just cough up so much money, but if we feel like the song is right for the couple, then we're going to use it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so another thing to consider too, we put a lot of time and effort into choosing music. So like
a lot of time, like a lot.
So if it is a song that we have to pay a lot more for, then we may ask our couples in advance, but a lot of the time we kind of go with our gut.
Yeah. So for example, what Ben's saying is like on these subscription sites that we do use, every once in a while we'll find a song, but it will cost a little extra money. I don't know why necessarily that's the case. I think just the artist thinks that it's a good enough song where they can make extra money on it for people that want to license it. But for example, like the video I'm working on now, I think I was at the gym working out, listening to like wedding music, and the song came on, I was like, wow, like I just envisioned the video perfectly, like the intro of the video perfectly. I was like, I have to use this song. And then later I looked at it, I was like, oh, this costs $70 for me to get the licensing into it. But to me, that was worth it because I had already painted that picture of that intro, what it would look like with that song. So for me, it was easy for me to pay out of pocket for that. But yeah, sometimes you see a song that it's like another $70 on top of the monthly payments that you're making. And you're like, not worth it.
Yeah, I want to make a point that we're not trying to say, hey, love us because we're paying for all this music. I'm just saying I want to make sure people understand why we choose the music we do. So for me, in my questionnaire, I always put in a question about genre, like what genre of music do you two love to listen to? Like when you're in the car, what makes you YouTube vibe?
What
But then I
artists
also,
do you like? Like, yeah.
yeah, what artists do you like? But then I also try to pay attention to what gets you both on the dance floor. What maybe you guys talk about a specific song on the day, or like I don't know, maybe a couple gets a live band for their wedding, so maybe I'm like, okay, maybe they want more like I don't even know, more of a vintage sort of song, or like a I don't even know how to describe that genre, like a
Retro,
kind of song, I guess.
classic,
Just something that's
alternative.
maybe it's alternative, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we definitely have to tune into the couple's personalities to pick their music. And it's hard too because music is such a tricky thing. Because, like, you might hear a song, like, someone who's not a videographer might hear a song and be like, this would be an epic song in a video. But, like, then you get into editing the video and you're like, this does not work at all with the footage that we got.
Yeah, especially with wedding videos or the music for wedding videos. What you want to look for is you want a lot of rises, but you also want a lot of falls too, which transitions into that point we were talking about all the dialogue. So obviously the rise and like the peak of the music is awesome. You can throw portraits, dancing, the party, and those kind of shots. But obviously when it falls down and is kind of more slower and ambient, that's kind of when we throw in the instrumental stuff to put over your vows or your letters or the ceremony or toasts or whatever, different things like that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, there's just so much that goes into music and picking music, and I don't even think we've even dived into it yet.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, when I go to the gym, I kind of organize my music kind of based on genre or style, but then I also have playlists for like couples. Like if I listen to a song, I'll be like, you know what, this I could totally see this couple dancing to this song. Mm-hmm. You like my?
It froze on you. You're frozen.
Yeah, it says change the battery. This is look. I know how to talk without moving my mouth.
Usually, doesn't it usually like when this happens, it like says the EOS webcam utility, and then it's like the USB
I think it's
plug?
because there's technically still battery in the camera where it says change the battery. But as soon as I take this battery out now, it'll say
there it is. I'm still at full battery. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of, I need to charge all my stuff for this weekend.
Yeah. Hey.
There he is.
Okay, so yeah, so
to backtrack a little bit, something I would want to like tell couples is, so when you're like looking for a video, I know we've done a podcast on like what to ask and what to look for in a videographer, this different sort of, but on the music end of things, so I know Ben is very much the same way as I am. We've got more of a style that's a little more, I call it upbeat and fun compared to the more typical slow and dreamy type of music. So obviously, if you go and you do your research and you look at the videos of who you're looking at, you're going to be able to tell what kind of music that they like to use, and usually you can expect to get that same type of song in your own video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell we're rusty?
No, I think that's good.
Were we ever not rusty?
No, we've always been pretty rusty.
Hey, episode 7 though. We're here, I think.
So we so yeah, we put in a lot of time into music. Oh my gosh, my camera's giving me an overheating warning right now.
Are you kidding?
No.
You better switch it to 1080.
Let's see if it changes the quality.
Interesting that it's not even recording.
There.
So for those of you that don't know, we shoot on the Canon R6, and it has very bad trouble with overheating, and we've been dealing with it this wedding season already, and here we are doing a podcast and Ben's dealing with it again. I'm not using said camera because I kind of expected something like that to happen, but
Yep. But I mean, we know how to fix it if we know how to deal with it if we have to.
Yeah. Couples out there are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, their equipment sucks." No, that's not true. There's ways to work with it, but
It's just an annoying.
yeah.
Because I mean, it doesn't change the way we've been filming for the last 3 years by any means. It just we get this new camera, and sometimes it feels like our old cameras, the other cameras that we use, will perform better. But
They all perform well. No matter what camera we show up with on your wedding day, you're going to get a high quality film.
okay, so
back to music. We were kind of talking about the process. Like what's the last thing we said? Like I talked about doing like your research to see and like watching a bunch of your videographers' films, and that's kind of what you can expect the music type to be.
Okay, so I have multiple music licensing sites. I mean, you can feel free to go check out some of these music licensing sites. We got MusicBed, Epidemic Sound, Artlist, Soundstripe.
Don't look at Soundstripe.
Yeah, Soundstripe has a lot of, we call it cookie cutter music, but I also used Soundstripe the first year or so. I just feel like I spent so much time looking for music on that site that it was just so frustrating. But there's also Song Freedom, which has a few more well-known songs. But then I just purchased a song from tracksmusic.com. So there's multiple sites out there. Some sites are more expensive. MusicBed, I feel like, has the highest quality of music.
MusicBed definitely has the highest quality and like the highest quantity as well. I think they have so much music, so many artists. A lot of them.
And you don't really find. I think the most well-known artist on there that I know is Ben Rector, probably.
Yeah, Ben Rector's on there. There's another one that like pops up on my Spotify every once in a while that's on MusicBed, but I could not tell you the name of him.
But like we said, we actually don't mind not like. I like using songs that maybe our couples haven't heard because, like when you listen to something so much, you eventually start to dislike it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's exactly my point. Why, like, I personally don't think I would ever want. Do you like how I'm just like chilling, just kind of lounging? I can even lounge more.
I'm on my stool, so I can't chill back.
That's how laid back CreativeKrunch is. We're just chilling. Look at this headspace.
Good.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So like, sit on the floor.
Hey, what's up out there, everybody? So yeah. yeah. Go check out our YouTube and see how good we are with our headspace composition. This is usually what we try to aim for when we're filming.
Anyway, what I was saying was like, I can't even take myself seriously, so it matter.
Okay, so music bed. Let's say I find two songs. So typically on a wedding video, I find for a teaser, there's usually one song. For a highlight, I might find 3, maybe even 4 songs sometimes. So what I do is I find a song, but I have to kind of know how I'm going to use the songs. Like there's certain songs I find that I'm like, this song would be perfect because I can cut in and out from the instrumental version to the lyrical version when I want to use dialogue. Where like some intros, I may not necessarily need the instrumental version because I know this part of the film is not going to need any dialogue. But yeah, so when we license music, we usually have to try to find the instrumental version.
Yeah, and I think I know at least Music Bed does a really good job of that. Like, you find a song, it pairs them together, so then you have like the instrumental plus the, what would you call it, regular lyrical version. I don't know technically what you would say, but yeah, it's not like it's hard to find the instrumental song once you find the regular. Is there a name for a song that's not instrumental?
Lyrical.
Is that okay?
But like you said, we have to be cautious because some songs might have very consistent lyrical things. And like there might be some songs that have 15-second verses. And like we have to be cautious because like we can't just use 15 seconds of dialogue and then cut back into a chorus. Like we need at least like a long enough verse that we can maybe try to loop a song that loop it in a way that doesn't sound too repetitive.
Yeah, honestly, I think it'd be an interesting video for us to make, showing doing a video of like, this is what your song would sound like with just the regular, or here's what your wedding video would look like with just the lyrical version of this song, and then you go through it, and like obviously you wouldn't be able to hear the vowels and stuff, and then the second video is like, here's what it looks like when we do a little audio engineering to the song, intertwining the instrumental and this, and highs and lows and all of that, and then like clearly the clear winner. The better video would obviously be the one that you kind of intertwine the instrumental one. I think that'd be kind of an interesting video idea and concept, because I feel like that's something couples do not think about. Is like, I'm picturing myself, if I were to get married, sitting down about ready to watch my wedding video. Like if I didn't have the prior knowledge that I have now, do you think you would think about like, oh wow, they really cut in and out from the instrumental version versus the lyrical version during this video? Like, I think there's an art to it which literally makes it feel like one song. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I going on? Sometimes I just like say things, I kind of like black out what I'm saying, and then I get to the end of it, I'm like,
no, usually when I'm finished, when I'm getting towards the end of the film, I'll play it back, but I won't watch the film. And I'll play it back and listen to it and just see how well everything sounds together with the dialogue and instrumental and lyrical parts of the video.
Yeah, it's very important that all of your audio flows and sounds good, and it's not like jarring, not super like, you don't want to cut from, so like from a sound design standpoint, or no, from a music standpoint, you don't want to be at this low point in the song for instrumental over the vowels and you just do a hard cut to like the peak of the chorus. You obviously want to work it back into. Words are hard. I'm rusty at this podcast thing.
No, I mean, I don't think we have a ton more to talk about. I feel like.
No, but I feel like everything I've said, I get to the end of it, I'm just like, I don't even think that made sense to me.
No, I think we got it.
No, you're doing great. I'm being hard on myself.
So yeah, we spend a lot of money on music. Music is a big chunk of what we do.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask, if you're trying to find a highlight song for one of your couples, how long do you think, on average, I know it would vary, how long do you think you take spending
Well,
time to find that stuff?
let me actually look. How much time do I spend a week on MusicBed's app? Let's see if it'll show me that.
Hours. Hours upon hours.
Is there a way to look at the app? Oh, here we go. Week. It looks like Wednesday I was on MusicBed for an hour. But like there's some days where I'm on there for so long.
Well, myself alone, so yesterday I probably spent, I'd say, pushing 5 hours looking for music for a highlight film. 5 hours. So I want couples out there to put that into perspective. That's 5 hours that I could have spent like editing, your video. So it just goes to show how important the music is. And music is another thing that adds time to, the amount of time that we take to get your video done. So there's just a lot of things that go into it. Music is a huge one. It's very time consuming as well. So yeah, if it takes a while to get your film, like think like before we even start editing, really, we probably spend anywhere from 2 to 8 hours, maybe even more, looking for that perfect song for you.
So yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how much else we need to add. I don't even know if people made it this far, but
Ooh, we have another podcast eventually coming out with a guy. I won't spoil it, but he didn't start a brewery, but he started brewing his own beer, and he's interested on coming on the podcast and talking about that. So if you're here listening to us talk about wedding music, why are we out of focus?
it was overexposed.
Oh, but yeah, if you're interested in that, that'll be super cool. I went to college with him, and I think it'll be, not that we need a nice change of pace, but I know CreativeKrunch, the idea behind it is all things creative, not just weddings. And I think a lot of our podcasts do kind of lean towards the wedding side, but we're going to bring him on, talk to him about all the creativeness that goes into brewing beer and marketing and all that. But yeah, that'll be a fun one, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, what is something that has inspired you this week?
Something that has inspired me.
Now, hold on. Now, remember, for branding purposes, let's go back to some of the ones that we've said, or that you have said before. So, your neighbor's sidewalk.
That's
Was
right.
I wrong? Carpet? I think carpet was one.
I think it was a light bulb.
Light bulb, carpet, shoveling sidewalks.
You know what? So this style shoot that I did, Poncheros was a part of this style shoot, and they had two, like, I don't know, representatives there, and it was so interesting to hear them talk about how we have to, like, they had to coach the couple on how to hold a burrito, and it was honestly like, it reminded me of like how you hold a baby. They're like, you have to hold it this way, you need to like prop up its head, you need to prop up you have to, like, you can't show like the fold of the burrito, you have to show like the unfolded part of it, or like, but yeah, that inspired me to think like, man, like, these different worlds that we know nothing about. There's probably people that look at our job and they're like, that's not even something I'd even consider. Like something I'd even think about, like music, for instance. Like people are probably like, I didn't even know that. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting to be like, I didn't even think like that was something that we needed to watch out for.
So for everyone who's getting a burrito for dinner tonight, if you're gonna snap a quick Instagram photo of it, make sure that you're holding it properly and we can't see the burrito fold or the tortilla fold or whatever.
Exactly.
And you will inspire Ben beyond belief.
I will think about that Ponchero's tip every time I see it.
Every time you eat a burrito.
Every time I eat it or see a picture of one, I'll be like, they showed the fold in that photo.
They screwed up bad.
What about you?
I like when you go first because then it gives me time to think about it, but you didn't give me enough time. I don't know. I've been pretty inspired and motivated just after these last few weddings. You know, I've had a little bit of a fear of like burning out this year just because I have so many weddings and so many edits to do. But honestly, after the last few that I've done, like I've had so much fun getting to know my couples and you know, filming their wedding and all of that stuff that it's really inspiring me to keep going for the rest of this year. I'm ready to hang out with the rest of you starting this weekend all the way to the end of November. But yeah, I guess just being in the midst of busy season has kind of turned into some motivation and some inspiration for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Dude, I don't know how many episodes we'll ever get to, but you can't stop. You can't stop with those inspiring things.
This is the CreativeKrunch podcast.
Yesterday's left turn might be tomorrow's right turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. That's a good idea.